Hey guys, TD here, and my god, let me clear something before we do this video. It's been 3 months, or maybe a month because of the BFT26 prank video, but either way, it's been a while since I made a video, mainly because I've been focusing on my priorities such as school, friends, and of course, final exams. But on the technicality of some kind, I should probably apologize for not giving you guys any updates whatsoever. However, now that I have finally finished my semester, there's a lot of videos to come over the summer, especially BFT26, so be sure to look for that as well. Moving on with the video though, there's exactly 43 characters in Teapot, each with their own personalities, running gags, and of course, popularity. However, after the split, there were some characters who have been derailed. And I don't mean when a trail falls off the rails and people die. I mean characters who I've considered to be falling graces. For today's video, I'll be giving off my top 5, and I literally put this in bold in my script, Teapot characters that have been derailed. Of course, this will be in my opinion as well, so if you disagree with these picks, then that's totally okay. Just don't throw any punches at me for who I have chosen. With that all being said, we can move on with the list, starting with number 5, which was, in all honesty, an interesting choice for being a derailed character. That being Naily. Now, in the earlier BFB episodes, Naily wasn't all that great. Her personality at the time was being tomboyish and making nail puns. However, she became more of a relevant character in BFB 12 and onwards. I'd say her biggest feat was playing a not too big but not too small role in BFB 14 during the escape of the lava apocalypse. So right off the back, I can say that Naily was a decent if not a good character at the time. Then we move on to Teapot, and you can say that the tables sort of twisted. In the first episode of Teapot, we got not one, but 2 debuters, Winner and Price Tag. Even though non-existent should have joined from the start because that's when things went downhill for Naily. Price Tag was basically another version of Naily, making puns and being a bit cheeky. And because that Price Tag was a newcomer at the time, writers would definitely give more screen time to them. Naily, on the other hand, sort of reverted back as a background character. What makes it even worse is that we could have had a potential arc with Naily and Price Tag, but that ship has sailed. As a result, when Just Not lost for the first time, Naily became the first person to be eliminated from that specific team. So overall, Naily has been on a roller coaster for the past few years, starting from the bottom, going at the top, and has suddenly dropped even further. Now we move on to number 4. This character, and excuse me for the pun, has single-handedly ruined their reputation as a character. Number 4 is Foldy. Now, like most characters, Foldy is a newcomer to Season 4, and if you watch the earlier episodes, you can get a first impression of her very fast. Foldy is one of those kind and passive characters. She even has a strong bond with another newcomer, Stapy. And speaking of Stapy, that's when things started to go south for Foldy. In BFB 8, after Matt showed Donut the proof of Stapy cheating, that resulted in a very early elimination. Once Foldy knew about this, she began to develop a vengeful nature. Finally, BFB 11 comes around, and to take exact vengeance, she makes Iance lose the challenge, which upsetted a lot of people because Match was the one that got eliminated in BFB 12. And yes, I was one of those people because I would rather much have Deathpack lose than Iance simply because we could have had a great story arc with Match and Bubble. Luckily, when Teapot came around, the viewers in a way took their revenge. Foldy was part of the strongest team on Earth, which, by the way, she was surrounded by hated characters at the time before getting their development. But still, at the time, Foldy was still pretty much an overhated character, and there's not really much to say about her Teapot performance. But when her team lost in Teapot 2, she was resulted in a very early elimination. Just goes to show if you do one bad thing in BFDI, fans will probably turn against you. We're now on to the top 3, which I believe to be an interesting set of characters that have been derailed. For this character, it could have been either turned out for the best or for the worst, but I still find this character a bit derailed. Third place is Yellowface. Now Yellowface is sort of an interesting case here. He doesn't have a necessary story arc or anything like that. So why is he on this list? Mainly because of his actions in Teapot 7 and 8. For Teapot 7, he gave Ice Cube a gumball, resulting in her losing her legs, but more importantly, he lost the challenge for his team. Then Teapot 8 came around, stole Donut's arms, and became a bit of a nuisance in this episode. Honestly, there's not really much to say for Yellow Face, so do whatever you want with this information. Now we're moving to the runner-up. And as much as it pains me to say this, second place belongs to Pen. If you read my community post about Pen and Teapot, then you know what I'm gonna talk about. Though I won't sugarcoat how popular Pen is, because we know that he's one of those overrated characters. I mean, the guy has his own plushie for crying out loud. But why is he on this list? Well, let's take a look at his BFB era. Pen was on one of my favorite teams in pre-split, Death Pact, which has quite a few good and interesting characters, and Pen was one of them. What made Pen stand out in BFB pre-split is because he was more outgoing and competitive. And if you don't believe me, then take note of this. Pen competed in challenges 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 14. Prior to the split, Pen competed in 17 out of the 15 challenges in BFB, which is an amazing feat. What makes it more interesting though is that he had many interactions with his team rather than characters such as Eraser or Blocky. To this day, I say Pen's best season is BFB pre-split. Unlike Teapot, they severely nerfed this character. Pen is on another favorite team of mine, Are You OK? But what's wrong about him being on this team is that Eraser is on this team. I'm not saying that I don't like Eraser. In fact, he's my favorite in Teapot currently. The reason why I say it's wrong is because we know that these two are on the exact same team. In fact, you could say that these two swapped in a way. Eraser's BFB era wasn't as impactful as Pen's. However, in Teapot, Eraser's more competitive and outgoing and had a very good story arc with Teardrop. What did Pen do in Teapot? Not much of anything. We could have gotten an arc with Pen and Golf Ball due to the events that happened in Teapot 5. However, the writers were more focused on TV's development. Hopefully when Teapot 11 comes around, Pen will get some important role in the episode, making him more shine as a character. But as of now, he's been severely derailed. Before we move on to number 1, I do want to give off some honorable mentions to some characters who could have made the list, but just came short of doing so. And I want to explain why this character didn't make the list or why was this character derailed, because I want to get this video done at a reasonable amount of time. So with that being said, the honorable mentions consist of Cloudy, Nickel, Ice Cube, Barf Bag, and that's pretty much it, as some characters, or if not most characters, received some sort of development in the past. Finally, we reached number 1, where I believe that this is the most derailed Teapot character in my opinion. That character is no other than Saw. This character went from being relatively likable to just becoming the bane of some people's existence. Sounds harsh, but it's true, and I have 8-Ball to thank for it. Saw is seen as a generally nice character early on in BFB, and to this day she still is. Even for me, I find Saw as a character pretty enjoyable, and is ranked on the B tier of my current tier list. The problem with Saw being derailed is solely relied on the 8 gag. After 8-Ball's elimination, Saw accidentally inhales 8-Ball's fumes, causing her to say the number 8. She then disappears in episodes 9 through 12 and returns in BFB 13, though she still carried the 8 gag with her. Mind you that this has been going on for the past 4 years. If no one's not tired of her 8 gags, then I don't know how anyone is able to sleep at night. What makes this even worse about her in Teapot is that she doesn't do anything. And when she did in Teapot 3, her team lost. As a result, she was eliminated early by an 8-vote difference. Thanks, 8-Ball, you truly are one of the worst characters out there. And with that, those were my top 5 Teapot characters who I'd consider to be derailed. Now I want to know which Teapot character do you think was derailed the most? Comment below your thoughts, and while you're at it, you should totally subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. And of course, tap the bell icon to be notified when my videos have been uploaded. Also, if you want to show your support, leave a like on this video and feel free to join my Discord server, the link is in the description. Also, you can check some of these videos here, and that's all for now. This is TD, and thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.